And let's get right into this, guys. Now spawning in the bottom left position of the map that is Newkirk Precinct. Coming out for Axiom Gaming. To start things off, it is Ryung. And in the bottom right position as the red Zerg player coming out for MVP, it is Sniper. So very, very high level players we have here coming from the top, the highest echelons of Korean StarCraft. Really excited to look forward to what this match could bring us. Former GSL players, Code S for both of these guys. So this is going to be definitely not one of the lighter weight matches you guys are going to see in the Acer TeamStory Cup. Of course, that is what we are here for. So this is just going to be so awesome. I cannot tell you how excited I am for this match. MVP putting up some pretty good results lately. I haven't actually managed to grab any of Axiom's matches live personally, but MVP took a pretty smart win against Quantic Gaming just the other day. So I'm really excited to see Super come out and play again. Hopefully, we will see him and possibly even Monster. But looks like Ryung is going to be opening up with a command center first. He has quite a few SCVs queued up, and Sniper is going to be going for the very standard hatchery first build here. So things I'm looking at this game, we see Terran versus Zerg has become largely this command center first into 3cc style, or a Reaper expand into 3cc. So Ryung isn't going to pull any punches here. He's going to immediately build this command center in his main base. Doesn't want to have to deal with this drone being annoying for Sniper. He wants to delay the command center, but he's kind of realized, okay, well, you've probably built it in your main by now. And now Ryung is going to start his barracks, and we should see either a gas geyser come up or possibly a second barracks. There are very greedy builds that allow you to go for 3 command centers, but that will not be his choice today. There is that refinery. So now, I mean, Sniper has a pretty good idea of what's coming. Based on what he saw, and now he's going to move into the main base and see, okay, well, your barracks is about halfway done. There's the command center. So now, Sniper has a couple choices. He can go for a fast third hatchery if he wants, pretty safely. He could take a gas and try to do something a bit aggressive, but not 100% sure if that's really his style. So he does have quite a bit of gas banked up, minerals, but he hasn't sent out a drone yet. So these resources are going to be used to get out queens very quickly once the spawning pool is complete. So now it's going to come down to, is he going to send the drone? And this one right here looks like it's probably going to be heading out towards the other base. This drone could also be the one that builds the hatchery. He hasn't taken any gas yet, so it's very unlikely that we're going to see him do anything crazy. He's only built 2 Zerglings to scout, take the tower, pick off this SCV. So Ryung is going to get inside of Sniper's base now. Scouts, okay, well, you expanded. There are 2 Zerglings here. And is he going to be able to check the gas geysers? That's a very important thing to know, whether or not speed is coming. Sees 1 gas geyser, does get a look at the other one. So this current situation right now looks like Sniper is just going to be opening up, but he's going to actually queue up a couple more queens. So he does want to go for a 4-queen opening before taking a third base. Not going for the fastest third base possible, but he could also, at this point, technically, he could just get a couple gas geysers and try to do something crazy. But Reactor now starting on this barracks. We do have the factory coming up here for Ryung, and now he's moved his command center into the natural, and he's just producing as many SCVs as he can right now. He's actually taken a pretty quick second gas, so we could see him throw down a second factory really quickly, try to go for some fast Blue Flame Hellion play, or we could see him go for possibly a Widow Mine drop. And it'll be interesting to see that. And there he is going to be the second factory. So this is most likely going to be Blue Flame Hellions. It's a very strong 2-base timing. It's actually was a pretty popular build in Wings of Liberty. But now it's even stronger because you can get tanks if your opponent goes for roaches. But now he's going to build that tech lab. And we see gas actually being taken in the natural for Sniper before he gets to third base. So this is going to be a little interesting. He could go for a roach warren very quickly. His drone count's looking quite fine right now. He's actually going to go take the third base right now, it looks. So probably going to see him queue up a hatchery there any second now. And this is the interesting part because he's going to build 8 more drones, but that's actually just going to round off the saturation at his natural expansion and possibly allow him to take a gas in the main. So this Overlord will come up here trying to scout. Will it see this factory, though? These 2 Marines should be able to deny it from seeing too much, but spawning this tech lab could give a lot away. And the Overlord actually for Sniper barely in time sees a tech lab. So he knows there is something there. But this could, of course, since he didn't see the barracks, it could just be the regular stim follow-up. And of course, it could be something like Banshee play. So the first two Hellions are moving out now, going to take out the Scout, Zergling at the tower for Sniper. He's going to press forward towards the natural expansion of Sniper. And at this moment, he's getting 2 Evolution Chambers. He's actually playing this. It's kind of like... It's interesting that he got the gas at that timing before the 3rd base. He didn't want to take any chances in terms of getting his upgrades together, and he is going to be starting that +1 Carapace right now. We should see him start the +1 melee attack, or possibly the ranged attack, but it will be melee. And Ryung now knows about this 3rd base. So he has a couple of options, and I think the best one for him right now is to just save up all of these Hellions, build up his count. He's going to start the 3rd command center, so he's not going to go all in with this or anything like that. It's just a very powerful timing, and we could see him actually throw up a tech lab on this barracks once Blue Flame is done and just go straight into bio. A lot of Terran players doing that, and he's actually going to get these 2 engineering bays, so it does look like Ryung wants to switch into bio. So he basically wants to use the Hellions to put on a ton of pressure, possibly get a game-winning amount of drone kills. But we'll have to see now. We do have the Baneling Nest coming up for Sniper, as well as the Lair. So he can be moving into a Mutalisk Baneling Zergling style, which is essentially the staple right now in Zerg versus Terran. But yeah, that's pretty much what it's going to be. He's running these Hellions now towards the natural, throwing out a couple Evolution Chambers to try to create a better choke point to block off with the Queens. He's going to be able to stop the Hellions from getting in for now, but they are poking away at this Queen, and Hellions do not do a lot of damage versus Queens, but when there are this many Hellions, he can break through. He's going to kill off a 2nd Queen. Now a 3rd Queen might take some damage as well. He's going to try to make some Banelings to help deal with these Hellions. He's trying to bust in. Is this even a complete wall? I don't quite know. The Zerglings are trying to get in and get some surface area on these Hellions, but he's not able to. Forces a cancel there, and now the Baneling's trying to get a hit off on these Hellions. Doesn't get too much damage done. He's going to actually run some towards the 3rd. These drones are left bare. Ryung getting a lot of drone kills right now, moving into the natural expansion. There are Banelings at the top of this ramp. He's going to be able to catch him, gets a lot of hits off, and these Hellions will be shut down, so good catch there for Sniper. But Ryung was able to do quite a bit of damage at this 3rd base. 8 drones. I have to say, though, losing all those Hellions in the natural to those Banelings trying to go up the ramp in the main, that did not pay off very well for him, and these Hellions might actually get caught as well in the center of the field. He's trying to get away. The Blue Flame Hellions do so much damage, he brings him a little bit of backup, and he will be able to take those out. So Ryung will live to die another day. He does have the 3rd command center completed. He will be moving it over towards that 3rd location. And he's had a lot of Hellions, and this gives him a good amount of map control. He can switch into this Bio Widowmine play. He does have the factory with the tech lab. We could see he should start his armory actually pretty soon, so that'll allow him to get the drilling claws upgrade and possibly get some Hellbat production if he wants. Now there is another reactor coming out on this factory for Ryung. He's going to get an armory up, so his 1-1 is actually going to finish in a pretty good amount of time. Ryung is going to need a pause, it seems, but looking a bit more at what Sniper has, that Spire is coming up though, so it will be the Zergling, Baneling, Mutalisk play, and this is exactly what we see in a majority of Terran versus Zerg. It's a very high-paced, high-action matchup. The Marine, Marauder, Medevac, Widowmine versus the Zergling, Baneling, Mutalisk into this Ultralisk composition. Sometimes we see Infestors come up to help lock the bio down in place and deal some AoE to the Widowmine. So we will have to see what exactly it is that he's going to go for with this, but he does have a few good options. This Roach Warren is an interesting call. I think he's building it primarily out of a fear that Ryung may be going mech, purely based on just how many Hellions he's built. He doesn't have any real good scouting information from what Ryung is doing in his main base. In fact, he should send this Overseer, and it is going right now to go try to find out what is going on. But the Widowmine production is already rolling. He's going to be able to start his Drilling Claws upgrade very soon. He has a lot of gas banked. Wow, this is me, or the symbols for that a little off, but Overseer does see everything that he needs to. The Hellions pick off a couple more drones, and we have a 4th hatchery actually coming up for Sniper. It's a pretty far forward one. It's not the worst decision ever, but it's going to be very open to a lot of attacks from this flank area, especially with no 3rd hatchery here, or our 4th, I guess it would be at this point. But now we do have some of the Mutalisks are coming out for Sniper. He's going to try to get in a bit of damage to the main base. At the same time, we do have the Hellion Marine Force pushing forward. He has the stim and some medevacs. The Mutalisks are going to be forced away. There was a missile turret there, so Ryung kind of covering all of his bases here. He might lose a supply depot, but these Hellions and Marines are pushing in. He might be able to deny this hatchery. I don't think he actually knows about it, though. He does not yet. He will spot it right now, though. He's going to scan to kill the creep tumors, and he will be able to find this hatchery, bringing the Marines forward. And this is such a good unit composition. The Blue Flame Hellions with the Bio. The Hellions clean up all the Lings. The Marines split and kill everything else. And now he's coming in. The Banelings trying to get a good positioning here, but Ryung trying to split up a bit. He has the Widow Mines here to support these as well. Gets a hit off on these Mutalisks with them. Needs to be careful about these Blue Flame Hellions, or they kill the Zerglings so fast, but they will die very quickly, as well as the Marines to the Banelings. And Ryung, in this position, is so far forward for Sniper. It's not too hard for Ryung to put the pressure on, but oh man, just pick off one of those Widow Mines. A good catch there. Now he's going to be stepping back, forcing these Marines to stim again and again. These medevacs are running low on their energy, and at the same time, Ryung, he's getting his 2-2 together. And Sniper, he already has it, though. He's moving forward now, trying to get in a flank as well. The Widow Mines are detonating. The Banelings will be able to clean those up, and it looks like Sniper will be able to stop this aggression from Ryung. For now, the medevacs are going to use those Ignite Afterburners, try to get away. There are some mines left behind, but he doesn't move the medevacs in time. He's going to lose all but one of them, and the Marines are running forward, but he will not be able to save these Widow Mines, so really, really nice defense there from Sniper, getting this hatchery up. He can actually take a 5th base probably if he really wanted to. It's all going to come down to how much farther aggression. Ryung putting the bunker in the mineral line. This is a very interesting position to deal with Zergling run-bys, especially since usually you try to just get by bunkers. You can't really avoid this if you run into the mineral line. He's got medevac production continuing here. Marines are moving forward. His combat shield's pretty late. Might have helped him a bit in the earlier fight. We'll be able to take out these changelings, but he does have the drilling claws upgrade now for these Widow Mines, so they're going to be able to burrow rather quickly. Now, the question is, Ryung, now building this 4th command center, when is he going to put it out, and is he going to try to go for the forward position or take a more conservative 4th base? We'll have to see, but he's really trying to be aggressive at this tower, and it's kind of paying off for him. At the 16-minute mark, the creep spread not past halfway. He's done a great job of stifling this, and, well, we don't actually have a hive yet either. So with 3-3 starting for Ryung, he's going to be way ahead in upgrades in a couple of minutes. And this is really going to favor him going into the later stages of this game. The Mutalisks are trying to be aggressive, using the Overseer to spot the mines, but the Marines are right there. Some Zerglings and Banelings are prepared on the side. No actual defensive Widow Mines. A couple of them trickled behind his army in the case that he needs to retreat. Ryung is going to be able to fall back pretty far, but now it looks like Sniper wants to just go in here, bringing the Zerglings. The Widow Mines getting a lot of hits off, but are they the perfect hits? It doesn't look like it, and he's just going to be continuing to steamroll, running over these units. These mines are just not killing as much as they need to, but Ryung falling backwards far enough to the rest of his defenses with this Bio being rallied forward. He should be able to stave this attack off if he doesn't take too many more bad hits, but the Mutalist count is going to remain intact for the most part, and he's killed off a lot of Ryung's Widow Mines. These are the units that take so long to build for him, and, well, the 4th base is now saturated for Sniper. He's getting up a couple of additional defenses. He's getting that Burrow upgrade. It's actually pretty late for Burrow, but he's going to get it, and Ryung taking the forward 4th base. It's a pretty solid decision because he can put a planetary fortress here, and this just gives him something else to fall back on. It's a little bit more reliable than the Widow Mines, and oh my goodness, 31 Banelings coming out for Sniper. This is, of course, just going to be so you can just roll through the Bio. With the Widow Mine count being so low, he's killed so many of them, it's going to be really easy for him to just bait out hits. He can run an Overlord in front of his army. He can maybe sack one Mutalisk, and now he's going to come up here. He's actually going to pick off a couple more of these mines, so great play here. He has the Changelings watching the army, and Ryung is going to go for a drop, but there are Overlords to spot this. Sniper should be able to pick up on this, and yes, those Mutalisks are headed straight there. Ryung will use this opportunity to try to move forward. He hasn't actually set anything up at this 4th base, though, and if these Mutalisks find it, they can put a bit of pain towards it. And he's going to run in now. The Planetary Fortress left undefended. The 4th base of Ryung. He's moving everything forward, trying to bring the SCVs to repair, but the Banelings roll in as well, and he might be able to grab these Marines. He's stepping forward. Sniper had a bit of a flank available to him, but wasn't able to properly utilize that. And at the same time, he was able to save the drop, bring it back home, but man, it's a bit of a dicey position for Ryung, although his 3-3 finishing up right now. 62 Zerglings coming out for Sniper, but the +1/1 upgrade advantage he's going to have might be enough to just steer him into a victory, but Ryung has actually been stuck at 177 supply cap for quite a while now. Just now calling down a few supply drops to help mitigate that issue, but the hive is now starting for Sniper. And if Ryung doesn't do a good amount of damage here, with these 4 bases already taken, Sniper's going to be in a great spot looking at the late game. And with so many Banelings, Zerglings, and Mutalisks, he's completely maxed on this. He only has 78 drones, so in terms of army supply size, both players are about even, and Sniper's actually a tiny bit ahead because Ryung hasn't maxed out yet, and it looks like he wants to come in now, bringing everything forward here, getting great hits on these Marines, sectioning them off. The Marines are trying to split. A couple of them move command into the Banelings. There's no Widow Mines here to support this bio, and he's just taking so much heat, but the Banelings are running out, and now it's going to be Marines versus Mutalisks. He's burning a couple of Widow Mines. Does he have enough Marines to overrun this, though? The Widow Mines hit the Zerglings, the Marine stem, but there's just not enough of them to hold this off. He needs to bring more mines forward. He needs to get some additional defenses set up. These mines are here, but they've been activated already, and now a drop headed towards the right side. Ryung trying to put on a bit of pressure to buy himself some time. He's rebuilt the 4th command center, but there's a Zergling burrowed there. He's going to know exactly when Ryung tries to take that. The Mutalisks swing towards the left side. There's actually no missile turret in the natural expansion for Ryung, so these Mutalisks could do a lot of damage at the same time. That drop is hitting the 3rd base, kills the Queen, manages to grab a drone or 2, but the Zerglings are going to swallow this up, and the Zerglings, the Mutalisks just killing all of these SCVs at the natural. Sniper's just done a good amount of damage here. Workers killed is about even, and at the same time, Ryung trying to move forward. He just wants to stim down this hatchery. He doesn't care about the army. He's going to kick that, and a ton of Banelings are rolling in to catch this, but a great Widow Mine shot takes out a large chunk of those. Getting baited forward a little bit here is our MVP Zerg, but he can't land the command center. There is a Zergling there. He's going to need to scan to kill that or bring forth an SCV to get a missile turret. He doesn't have any infrastructure really set up to go for Ravens or anything of that sort. So many Widow Mines queued up, just realizing this is the bread and butter of his defenses. And now the Mutalisks coming in again. He's going to pick off this mine. And, you know, he says, okay, you've got Marines here. Do you have enough to stop me? No. He will lose a couple of Mutalisks in the process, though, trading those for some SCVs. Ryung does now have this 4th command center landed, so he is going to be able to get a little bit more mining up, but he's going to need to keep a significant chunk of his defenses there. He's going to make that a planetary fortress. He does have a Widow Mine here to help cover this, and ooh, getting so dangerously close to that mine. The Medevac just kind of chilling out over here. And in terms of the tech that we see for Sniper, he hasn't really gotten anything else set up yet. He started his +3 Carapace. He's been really just focusing on trying to get a good engagement here against Ryung with the supply lead, and it looks like he might try to run in now. No, he will move back. He needs to be so careful versus these Widow Mines. The Mutalisks, so at the same time, are going to hit the 4th command center, so he's just trying to keep Ryung stretched out as much as he can, trying to bait forward a couple of these units. The Medevac is going to make its return trip home. These Marines are doing their best to defend this base, but he hasn't been mining on it yet, and Ryung, he's going to run out of income soon, and it looks like Sniper wants to try to push in here. He's just going to cancel the planetary and lift it off. Doesn't want to lose the command center. He needs to keep it alive, but all of these Marines are going down very, very quickly, and there's just not enough Widow Mine coverage here. There's just such a good job by Sniper to kill them. They're all in the back. He will run into them now, though, and he's going to get some great hits off, taking out all of the ground forces for Sniper, and Ryung getting himself a nice bit of an even supply. There are some burrowed Banelings, though. He needs to be very careful about where he chooses to walk on this map, especially moving out. And not so sure Ryung will end up walking over this specific area just because he's usually going to be pushing in this direction, or he'll be pushing in this direction, but he does have the 4th command center still alive, but Ultralisks are coming out now for Sniper. He has the chitinous plating coming in. He has the +3 armor. No +3 attack yet, though, which is pretty interesting. He perhaps forgot to get that. The adrenal glands also has not yet been started upgrading, so the Bioforces for Ryung are going to be a bit ahead in upgrades for now. But Sniper taking a pretty late 5th hatchery. He does have it, though. And at this point, Ryung's going to really need to get some cost-effective engagements. If we're looking at the units lost tab, Sniper has thrown away a lot of Banelings to kill these forces, but they're Banelings right here. There's not really any Marines to kill, though. There's a nice chunk. Maybe he'll go for that. No. Does not detonate those burrowed Banelings, but the Mutalisks are going to try to run in towards the 3rd base of Ryung once again. He does have this bunker, but these supply depots are left bare. And this hatchery, of course, was rebuilt, but he's going to lose a couple supply depots. It's annoying, but with how many command centers he has right now, getting this 4th one up, it's going to give him that extra bit of supply. He's not super behind in terms of that, but now stepping forward. And he really needs to just bait everything into the Widow Mines is the ideal way to take these engagements. He can't just fight the Ultralisk straight up. Goes for a bit of a run by. These Marines get swallowed very quickly. Ryung can't really afford to just throw supply away like this. He needs to be careful. Grabs an Infestor for free. He's trying to take out this hatchery. But the Ultralisks and Banelings are just waiting to get a perfect arc on this force. He's moving forward now. The Widow Mines are going to go off on these units. They're very good versus the Ultralisks for the raw damage output, but he doesn't have quite enough of them yet, it seems. Being stepped backwards, he's running. The Banelings unburrowed come in to clean up these Marines, and Ryung's forces will get cornered here in the center of the map, down 100 supply to 152. So Ryung really needs to get some better engagements here. He's been more cost-effective at looking at the units lost tab, but he just hasn't gotten up, he hasn't accumulated as many resources as Sniper. Sniper's just been mining on more bases for so much longer that, you know, he can afford to throw away all these banelings. He can afford to throw away Mutalisks and still be in a good spot. Now, Ryung just pumping out Marine Marauder right now. That's what he needs to deal with the Ultralisks. Losing that natural command center, actually he's just moving it away towards take a 5th base. Not a bad decision. He wants to get the minerals. It's much more important than the gas. Actually, you can see he's banking quite a bit of gas. And now he's going to move this over, and the Mutalisk is going to try to come here, do a bit of poking to deny this, and at the same time, we could see a counterattack, some sort of split push from Sniper, but he will not do that. And well, I mean, at this point, he's just balling up his forces. He's biding his time. He wants to secure additional economy. He doesn't have the bank that he wants just yet. Adding on a lot of banelings, getting more Ultralisks, trying to go for a well-rounded, maxed-out composition. And I love this, using the 2 Overseers with that speed upgrade to accompany these Mutalisks to just pick off the mines, do a bit of damage here, and now he's killing off SCVs. This Widow Mine will go off, kills the Mutalisk, so not bad. Doing that AoE damage to it. And I feel like at this point, Missile Turret is just not a bad investment. I understand that Ryung doesn't really have too much mineral mining, but at this point, defending the income is almost more important than the income itself. So he has a Widow Mine here. It's going to kill 1 more Mutalisk, weakening these other 3 very significantly, though. And Ryung will step forward, picks off another one. Does have the Zergling's Burrow to spot this, so Greater Spire is now coming in for Sniper, so he possibly wants to just try to use Broodlords to finish this off, maybe recognizing that Ryung may have barely enough economy to continue to produce Marines and Marauders, but he does not have any chance at producing a lot of Vikings. And now, here come the Ultralisks with the Banelings. He's going to try to roll in here. The split from Ryung isn't good enough. It doesn't seem he's going to be able to save this base. The command center does go down. The Widow Mine's detonating on some of these Banelings, but does he have enough bio here to kill this maxed out force of Ultralisks? There's still a ton of Banelings. The Infestors have the fungal growth. The SCVs are going to die as well, and Ryung going for a bit of a counterattack at the same time towards this 4th base, but now the bio doing as much as it can, killing off an Ultralisk, but Ryung dropping below 70 supply. GG. Game 1 goes to MVP here in this best of 9 series for the Acer TeamStory Cup.